Okay, here we go. So this is my video journal of my Canada trip, my Canada train trip. And just as a disclaimer, this is by no means a professional production. There's going to be a lot of reflections in the windows and shaky camera work and stuff like that. Anyway, so these first few shots here, they're just of my room and what I packed, and here I am walking out to the car from my house. Putting the stuff in the trunk. And here we are driving down Francis Drake, just going to the Marin Airport bus stop. There's going to be a lot of background talk and stuff like that, so just so yeah, that'll just be a thing. Yeah, I'll tell you that I'm just doing live commentary here. I'm literally just watching this while I'm editing it, well, in its editing form in Adobe Premiere. So this is just live commentary. Another shot of us going down Francis Drake. Right, here's the airporter bus pulling up to the stop. And here we are. I wanted to see if I wanted to try to get a shot of the San Francisco skyline. However, it was foggy that morning, so this is the best I could do. This might be pretty loud, so just be aware of that. I'm sorry if it gets super loud. Here we are. We're crossing the Golden Gate Bridge. we are at SFO, San Francisco International Airport, and we're using the international terminal because we are going out of the country. I didn't necessarily realize that until I got there. Then it just clicked in my head. Oh, we are in fact international. So, anyways, here we are. Here I am descending the escalator to the terminal. We took WestJet up to Vancouver, as opposed to Air Canada. Well, I guess I mean, what difference does it make, really?
This is a security advisory. Please maintain possession of your bags at all times. Please report any suspicious activity or unattended items.
Ladies and gentlemen, we board from the back of the aircraft floor. We invite those Zebras 25 or higher, 25 or higher at this time.
And because I got such a terrible seat on the plane, I didn't really get any window or anything. I just skipped directly to Vancouver. I'm gonna turn off the amp real quick, so you might be able to hear me better. All right, the amp's off. My voice should be clear. All right, I tried to do like sort of artsy thing, where you get looking at me walking, then pan up, and welcome to Vancouver. So this is us walking from the gate to customs. So okay, so we're out of the airport now. We're gonna go up this escalator here. We're gonna catch the Canada line to get to downtown. So the Canada line, this was added for the Olympics or something. I'm pretty sure it's for the Olympics because they did a whole bunch of upgrades to like the city and the transportation system and whatnot. So yeah, here we go. We're heading up the escalator to the Canada line, and we're waiting for the train here. It's pulling in. Okay, so here we are. We're departing the airport. I'm just filming this out the window. In the background, you might be able to hear my dad talking with like the guide on board about like what to do in Vancouver. So you see that. Also, by the way, you might still be able to hear the video through my headset, the headphones that I'm wearing right now. So if you hear that, that's just gonna be there. So yeah, I think I filmed all the way up to our first stop here. Oh, excuse me. All right.
The next station is Sea Island Center.
Alright, so here we are. We're crossing some river. I never got the name of it. I'm not sure what it is, but I just thought this shot would look alright.
Well, that cheap thing thinks she's living.
These headphones aren't the most comfortable. I'm gonna turn the amp back on. Just turn the volume down. Hopefully it won't be quite so loud. So you're crossing this river. And this is the Canada Line sort of shop yard area. So I just thought this was interesting, and I'd get it on film, I'd get it on camera. So here's another river. Again, I'm not sure what this one is. I don't think it's the Fraser, but it might be. And you can see a log barge getting pulled by a tugboat in the shot there, sort of. So I found that pretty interesting how they're transporting logs down the river. And so once we cross over here, you'll see us entering a rather built-up area. This isn't quite Vancouver proper, but I thought it'd give the impression we're heading into Vancouver. So here we go. See it coming up. We got a railroad yard here. Just a standard freight railroad. Pretty sure Canadian National. Might have been Canadian Pacific though. Anyway, so we'll be coming into our first sort of really built-up area pretty shortly.
The next station is Marine Drive.
There's a station announcement there. Okay, so here we are. This is the escalators. This is heading out from our station stop where we decide to get out. So another escalator shot, and pretty soon you'll see us come out of the escalator and head out on the street. I think there's one more after this. So big reveals coming up. I guess you could say that. Step off, and here we are. We're in the was it Yorktown? I think it was the Yorktown area of Vancouver. I may have gotten that wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was the Yorktown area. So there we go. Just got a shot. I think Dad told me to follow him that way. So as you can see, we got our massive backpacks on, and we look pretty bulky. So here's the Roundhouse Community Center. So I found this pretty interesting. This is an old roundhouse that they turned into like a recreational center. And now this locomotive here, Canadian Pacific number 374, this powered the first transcontinental passenger train across Canada into Vancouver. So they have it on display here, and they have a little track that they can take it outside for like special occasions and stuff. And this is really interesting. They have a heater in the tender that they use to boil water to make steam to be able to like blow the whistle and stuff. So I found that pretty interesting because this thing doesn't run, but they can blow the whistle using steam from the heater in the tender. Here it is, CP 374. So here's just a little model train set that they had set up in the museum. N scale, all Canadian equipment. And there's a little model of the 374, though I don't think it's quite so accurate. Anyways, so here's Pacific Central Station here in Vancouver. This is where we will be boarding the Canadian later tonight. Just got the shot of the VIA logo there. And so from there, we boarded another of the transit system to head down to the False Creek, and so I got to get a shot of all this like high-rise development and stuff. Vancouver has a lot of these really nice, like modern-looking apartment buildings. I guess, and my dad noted that they have no shortage of housing here, though I'm pretty sure this housing here, at least here, is pretty expensive. You know, it's like 3 million Canadian, which is probably like 2.8 million US, something like that. So anyways, we're walking down the dock, and we're gonna get on the little tour boats that take you around False Creek. So I'm just looking at, also notice all these really good looking, you know, high-end yachts and stuff. So yeah, just pointing that out.
Lots of Canadian cash over.
Probably. So here we are. This is just a pan shot of all the nice buildings around us.
This isn't glass. This is some other material.
So now we're on the little tour boats, little shuttle boats to take you around False Creek. I think this was after the first stop. This is the first stop after we got on. So we're gonna take this down to the public market, and you'll see. Sorry. So we're gonna take this down to the public market where we'll have lunch, and you'll get to enjoy some of the sights along False Creek, such as other tour boats or other sailboats or yachts or just other private boats. All the nice buildings along the waterfront, and a pretty interesting sight will come up later on. Just some more shots of the buildings.
Yeah, it's all very modern. There's a lot of modern apartments. I'm gonna get that.
Oh yeah, so here we go. That there is this little like pirate like kids party boat. I found that kind of hilarious because I don't know if you see here, but they have, you know, your skull and crossbones, and you also have the Canadian flag. So I don't know. So I found that pretty funny.
Oh, we're going up a little bit more. Okay.
I think we'll be passing it pretty shortly, and you'll get to see what's going on board. Actually, no, you didn't. But anyways, here's some nice sort of houseboat things. Actually, yeah, here we are. We're passing. So look at that. I found that pretty funny, where it's like some sort of it's some like kids party. I don't know. It's just I found the pirate ship so out of place here. Anyway, so there's a nice little just old crane there. Look at all these like beach houses. Well, beach houses. Look at all these like almost like houseboats. Kind of reminds me of Sausalito a little bit. Only it's so much better. So, anyways, there's the bridge, and there's some mountains off in the distance. The Olympics? No, the Olympians are in London. I don't know what the mountains are. So, all right, here we are. We're coming into the dock for the public market. As you can see, it's a pretty happening place. So here we are at the public market. We've gotten off the boat. So here's some more of the Vancouver skyline. The bridge there. Just a shot. Just a quick shot here. So here we are. We're gonna pass through the actual public market. We didn't really stay for very long because we were just going to go grab lunch. So here we are, we're just going to pass through here. We were looking around to see if there was anything interesting, but there wasn't really anything interesting. I should also note that we've shed the really big backpacks. We're down to just our day packs. So, because we dropped our packs off at Pacific Central and just went around the day packs because we don't want to carry around those huge backpacks. Nobody wants to. Anyways, so we're going around looking for restaurants. And in the meantime, we come to this place called the Railspur District, and I make it very obvious why it's called the Railspur District because of all these old railroad tracks, just in the middle of the street, kind of like the waterfront. Anyways, here's this comedy poster which I found pretty funny. So here's our lunch at this at a place called the Keg Steakhouse, which is actually like a chain. So there's some calamaris. There's Dad waving, and I'm gonna wave as well. So, anyways, this is just another shot. Oh, so we've gotten on another little tour boat, and we just went across the river, across the creek to here. And our plan was we were gonna kill some time before we go to the train station to get on the Canadian, so we're just gonna walk alongside the waterfront for a little bit. Stretching. Okay, so this is buildings in progress and had like overhanging balconies and stuff, so I found that pretty interesting. There's a pirate boat again, and yeah, you can see the Canadian flag on it. So I don't know why I found it so funny, but I did. So here's another nice shot of the waterfront. There's the building that's currently in progress, and you can see the bike path there. I really like the way they did the bike path, where it's like completely separate from the walking path. I think that's a good way to go. So some more walking. So I think I decided I'd just catch a couple of the sort of water sports that go around here. Water sports, water recreational activities. Alright, so anyways, here's the TELUS World of Science, and that dome there is the IMAX theater. So you'll see here, I drew a lot of comparisons to the Exploratorium. Oh yeah, so we're walking up to it now, and I took the shot because at this moment I was thinking like, wow, Vancouver truly is a utopian city. Even though it has all the normal problems of a city, it has the facade of being a utopia. Anyway, so here's like the sort of area that reminded me a lot of the Exploratorium, such as with things such as this thing, such as this sort of this little drawing thing here. There was a lot of similar stuff to the Exploratorium. So this little light wall, where you could like call it, and you would you get it. So this is a little science demonstration here. Oh, by the way, the light wall, you call it and you could light it up on your own. So this is a guy doing a little science demonstration for kids. This is a pretty kid-oriented museum, but I still found it pretty interesting. So he's gonna do a little air puff. So he did the air thing. So here we go. This is at the Exploratorium. This sort of multiple this sort of psychedelic display. So there's me dancing like an autist, like the autist I think I am. And to Walter Blitz. There's Dad, swinging his camera around, and English changing a little bit here. But yeah, there we go. That's pretty funny. So this is this interesting little air-powered ball thing, because as you can see, it kind of just shoots it out, and then I just changed the path there and I put in another ball and try to follow that up. So yeah, as you can see, the air just sort of powers the ball through. So here's a nice view of the creek. and from here, well, I don't think not quite yet. So here's a little air thing. So get that thing. That thing gets blown. Okay, so here's a pretty interesting bit of the science demonstration that was going on. So this guy was doing like different colored flames based on like different color like materials. So he had this like Bunsen burner, and he was spraying different like chemicals and stuff, making different colored fire. So here's the outdoor area, and it had a chicken coop, but none of the chickens were in that day. But it also had this pretty interesting sort of outdoor experimental avant-garde music creator, which you'll see in action right now. Oh yeah, I should also note that before this we went and we saw an IMAX movie. It was about the national parks, and I thought the movie itself was so-so, but I really didn't like the soundtrack. It was a bit too, it wasn't cool enough. And I said to Dad, if it had Pink Floyd, it would have better emphasized the epicness. But here's the avant-garde music we made. So it's just dropping balls and like cymbals and stuff. Here we are. We're now walking into Pacific Central Station, waiting to board the Canadian. And since we had sleeping car accommodations, we got to use the Panorama Lounge. Excuse me, for to just sort of hang out in while they got the train together. So here we are, just more of the interior. This is a pretty classic station, this Pacific Central. So here's the Panorama Lounge. It isn't the biggest lounge in the world, but you know, it was a nice place to wait. Though sadly, we had a lot of people, you know, had already sort of started camping out inside where all the outlets are. So yeah, you can get like coffee and little snacks and stuff there. So we just decided we'd set up outside, just kind of while we waited for the train to be ready. You can hear the cat in the background, by the way, just so you know. Yeah, there it is. So here's one half of the Canadian. It's so long they have to split it into two halves in order to fit in the platform in Vancouver. So that's the first half, and the second half is here with the park car at the end. So the park car, that's where the prestige class sleepers are. So that's like the really luxurious stuff. So anyways, here's the locomotives. They're backing down onto the train, and there's another park car on the front. It's being deadheaded. It was deadheaded to Jasper, and I think it's going to go on the and it went on. I'm pretty sure it went on the Skeena, which goes to Prince Rupert. So here are the locomotives backing down. So I guess anyways, with the prestige class, it's like a pretty expensive ticket, but you get exclusive access to the park car. The normal sleeping passengers, which Dad and I were, we didn't get to go to that all the time. We got like a slot between like 4 p.m. and like you know, some other time to go and check out the park car, but prestige class, they get it all the time. I think it's like a more like intimate, like luxurious thing. So anyway, so they've announced boarding, and we're walking up to the train. We're walking up to our car, and you'll notice that there's a lot of Chinese and Japanese tourists taking the train with us today. So just something I just thought I'd point out. Not that it really means much of anything. Just it's just there. So yeah, here they are. Well, here we are. We're walking up to the train. This is the Panorama car that I spent a lot of my time in, because the domes were usually just completely filled to capacity by you know, said tourists. You know, obviously not just from Asia, but from you know, all over the world, because this section of the run is just such has just such incredible scenery. So, going through the Rockies and stuff. So, you know, it draws a lot of people. So, anyways, we're heading up to our car. And so, my original thought was oh awesome, we're right by a dome. We're right by, you know, a nice dome car. So, yeah, you can hear me say the dome's right there. However, and I even went inside and I got a few shots of it, you know, to see what a normal sort of dome car looks like. So here we are, we're sort of in line getting to our section. So here we are, we're walking through the car. This is the singles. So our attendant was this very perky French lady, and we met her colleague on the Skeena, so that was pretty neat. So here are the bedrooms we're passing right now, and we come up to our section right here. Just a couple seats that fold down into bunks for nighttime use. Nothing much, but, you know, gets the job done. There's no outlets or anything. I had to use like the bathroom in order to use the outlet. So anyways, here's the dome car that was right in front of us. So here we are. We're checking it out. I'm checking it out. You know, seeing what's in it, giving it a good look. So I'm like, oh yeah, here's the dome. This is nice in here. However, I learned that this dome is meant for the economy class passengers, and while I could use it if I wanted, I had a lot more nice free stuff in the other cars, in the other dome cars. So here we go. I'm gonna pass through the panorama car with plenty of tourists already staked out in it. So the panorama car has this viewing section. Then it also has like a little storage area back here for like food and stuff. Because this kind of car is also used. It was used on the Skeena for the touring class. So that was me passing through the lounge. So this is a locomotive movement that's going on in the shops just adjacent to the train. I'll get a drink of water real quick. And this is while we're making our. This also happened while we were making our backup move to the. While we were making our backup move to the other half of the train, because we were in the first half. So this is the dining car. You'll see much more of that later. And here we come to the dome car, one of the main sort of dome cars, and which is already jam-packed with passengers ready to see off the departure. So I managed to find a seat in and I think a dome that was much further back on the train. So so here we go. There's a nice shot of the sunset in Vancouver. And here we go. This is the start of the grand adventure. We are currently departing Vancouver. So just sit back, and if there's anything interesting that comes up, I'll tell you about it. So here you are, just leaving the station.
Let's play Guess the Shakespeare quote.
Another shot of the rear of the train, leaving the station.
And then for our lovely guests, take a walk. You're going the wrong way. But you can point out what we need to see, then we'll see what we They're just gonna say, look, it's a bear. We see a moose, a bear. We see everything. That's what
Talking's really making my throat go hoarse. So I'm drinking water.
we see so
So we're coming up to the junction that leads into the station. So we'll be joining the Canadian National pretty soon. For a shot of the back of the train heading onto the junction, heading out onto the main line. So here we go, we're passing through some parts. We're going to be heading out into sort of the suburbs of Vancouver pretty soon. So you'll see just sort of back lots, industrial stuff and whatnot. So yeah, just sit back, relax, and enjoy this part of the trip. I guess so. And as you can probably notice, it's pretty loud inside the dome because there's just so many people all talking to each other and everything. But I have my music on, so I really didn't care. So that's just to let you know, whenever it's like super loud inside of a car, I usually have my music on, which is why I'm so nonchalant about it.
And I thought, you know what? There's new guys on well, that's good. So when did you make the next one? Hopefully it's July 25th, but it's one that's really still
Here's another shot of suburban Vancouver. I believe we're passing through the suburb of Gilmore. There might be some other place. Oh yeah, I should probably also mention at this time, waitresses, well, not so much waitresses, but just like the train staff, the train sort of, food staff, sleeping car staff, they were coming around with like little plates of tapas and stuff or actually not tapas, canapes. I think it's how it's pronounced, canapes, for just little things for you to snack on, with champagne and with orange juice and stuff. And so they make you feel pretty good because you're a sleeping car passenger. Though you may not be the prestige sleeping car passengers, you're in your own little sort of a club. club of, 100, 200 some odd people all taking the train. I don't know if it was quite that much, but it was a lot of people riding Canadian. Oh, my dad just found me.
Found you.
So,
Wow, this is
yeah.
far back.
So there it is.
This train must be 15. So, do you have your other credit card on you? Because you don't. It doesn't take.
So this is the first of many meets with freight trains during my time in Canada. So this is a Canadian Pacific potash train that we're passing right now. Most of the time it was Canadian National. I think this may have been the only Canadian Pacific train that we passed. So it's quite long, so I'm not going to make you watch through the entire thing. So there's the middle engine. Actually, that was the rear of the train right there. So here we are. I think I moved up to the front dome, passing another freight train. I think we had to hold for this one as well. This delayed us pretty significantly coming out of Vancouver. So, but yeah, you can already tell, the reflection on the window and stuff. That's going to be pretty prominent. So I'm sorry again. This is not at all a professional production. So you'll just have to deal with it.
I hope so.
So yeah, this looks like mostly grain. This one we're passing right here. Oh yeah, so the patrons in this dome were particularly pretty rowdy because they were all drunk Welshmen. Actually, I think they were Scots, drunk Scots. But yeah, they were getting pretty drunk up there. So eventually I was just like, I think I'm okay. I'm gonna leave. They weren't, like bad rowdy. They were just, loud and drunk. So anyways, here's a BNSF yard, little BNSF yard we're passing through here. So there's some couple engines there, a couple sets of engines. I think one of those engine sets looks like there's a movement. Well, switching.
That's one of the buttons on the lower level. There's like a panic button, so they'll come and talk to you just through the window. And then
So Hyde, when you come in, give you a dummy slap or something?
You're my only passenger. Saying going further.
So here we go. We're crossing the Fraser River.
Tomorrow you'll be on one.
So there's the front of the train. We're crossing the Fraser River Bridge. This is the boundary line from. This means we are now leaving Vancouver.
I know it's not double that.
So we're crossing onto the bridge now. The reflection is really bad. I'm so sorry about. I'm sorry about all the reflections and stuff. We'll just have to deal with it. So here we are. We're crossing the Fraser River, heading out of Vancouver.
But there's a train on that bridge.
I want to take a survey if I open another bottle. One another. By show of hands, so I know when the ball's open. Okay,
This is the old castle.
Sounds good. Thanks.
You got a problem, who happened?
Talked her into it.
I was saying this as a passion.
Yeah, I have my music on, so I did not mind this one bit. All the chatter you hear. Yeah.
It's on 10H. It's on 10H.
I mean, what can I say? They're having a good time.
Because this goes down as far rain.
Double right up there, I know what I mean. Yeah, don't. Don't get flat, it's too red too.
New Westminster.
So I had to get, I think I got the shot here because I was so enamored by the old style searchlight signals that are still employed quite a bit here on the Canadian railroads.
Three reds.
Are those searchlights? Or are those, oh, those aren't even searchlights. Oh. Okay, so there's the back of the train crossing the Fraser River Bridge. So as you can see, the Canadian has quite a bit of length during the summer months. So here's some sunset shots. Those are some searchlights you saw pass right there. It's a nice sunset. Some more sunset shots. Getting pretty late now. This is like 10 p.m. 10, 11 p.m. And lastly, there's this grand nostalgia trip that I remember from my childhood. But anyways, this is the end of the first day, so catch you in the next one.